So hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Fiction Star. This is the second part of the series. The series name is What If Naruto Revived Jiraya? So let's start the series. Naruto was excited. Tomorrow was his first day at the academy, and this morning Jiraiya had decided that Naruto was ready for the secret skill that would help Naruto train while he was at school. Okay Naruto, let's try one more time before bed. You almost got it the last time. Unfortunately, it looked like he sucked at it, but I thought it was a cool jutsu. I suck at clones. How much chakra are you putting into it? Jiraiya had figured that Naruto's overabundance of chakra would make learning this jutsu easy. As little as I can, just like with the normal Bunshin. Why? Because if you were paying any attention, you'd have realized that I said this was a chakra-intensive jutsu. Go ahead and use as much chakra as you want. Jiraiya expected that Naruto could pull off 3 or 4 clones at a time, so telling him to go all out wouldn't cause a problem. Boy was he wrong. Kage Bunshin no Jutsu. Road to Konoha present day. Wait just a second Jiraiya. You taught a 7-year-old the Kage Bunshin. Are you insane? The fact that Tsunade had latched on to this point, instead of say the fact that the kid leveled a quarter mile of terrain by clapping, amused Jiraiya to no end. I never even got to the good part, Anyways, the kid has a crap load of chakra. The jutsu was practically made for him. Besides, if you'd have let me finish, you'd have seen that I was right. Jiraiya mumbled to himself. Too right, really? Jiraiya-sama, how can one be too right? Shizen had heard Jiraiya murmur to himself. Well, if you'd let me continue telling the story. Konoha, 4 years, 10 months, 13 days ago. Kage Bunshin no Jutsu. There was a cloud of smoke, and when it cleared, the training ground was filled with copies of Naruto, packed shoulder to shoulder. By Jiraiya's rough calculation, there was almost 1,000 copies of the young blonde. Blinking in surprise, Jiraiya said, Well kid, you certainly have a lot of potential. Road to Konoha present day. Surely you're exaggerating, Jiraiya. 1,000? Tsunade interrupted. I mean, to be able to make that many clones and not die, he'd have to have twice much chakra as you. And that shouldn't even be possible. What do you feed him? No, I'm not. 3 times actually. Apparently it is. Ramen. Lots and lots of ramen. Seriously, the kid can eat 3 times my body weight in one sitting. Now stop interrupting me. You were doing so well before. It's hard to tell a story when you keep getting interrupted. Konoha, 4 years, 10 months, 13 days ago. How do you feel, kid? You just did something that not even the Hokage can do. Hell, I couldn't make half as many clones as you did. Really? Once you told me to pump my chakra into it, it was easy. I'm not even that tired. Training with my eye is more tiring than this. Dispel all of the clones but one, and I'll show you the secrets of this technique. After Naruto did as he was told, Jiraiya took the clone a distance away and hid behind a tree with him. Placing his hand on the Naruto clone's shoulder, he said, Naruto, you have the most potential of any ninja I've ever met. Your father would be proud of how much you've grown in such a short time. I certainly am. Then he punched the clone in the face, dispelling it instantly. Walking back to Naruto, he asked, So did you notice any thoof? Naruto had tackled Jiraiya and was currently sobbing into his stomach. After a few moments, Naruto calmed down. Did you really mean it, Ero-sensei? Naruto had finally found out what his sensei did when researching things for his books and refused to call him anything without attaching Ero to it. Blinking as the end of the conversation nudged the joy Naruto felt at his sensei's pride, Naruto started to scowl. Did you really have to punch me so hard? Well, Naruto, what do those 2 things tell you about this jutsu? Jiraiya questioned Naruto, hoping that the blonde would be able to put 2 and 2 together by himself for once. That it only takes 1 hit to dispel a clone? Seeing Jiraiya's expectant face, Naruto scrunches his own up in his thinking pose. That when a clone dispels, I learn what it did. Jiraiya decided to let that sink in on its own and watch the fireworks. Suddenly Naruto's eyes went wide. That's so cool. Training will be so easy now. Naruto was hopping around in circles doing his victory dance. Still shouting, Naruto continued, I'm going to have so much fun with this. Thank you, Yaro-sensei. Naruto had returned to hugging Jiraiya around the middle again. Before you go to school tomorrow, make? Oh, I don't know, 400 clones. I'm going to split them into 4 groups and have each group do something different. Now shadow clones can only transfer mental progress. So that means you still have to exercise. You can't make clones do it for you. In fact, I'm upping your physical exercises to 4 hours of exercise and 2 hours of sparring against your clones every day. You need more practice fighting superior numbers. On the bright side, muscle memory is technically mental, so you can learn new styles of taijutsu. But you'll still need to get your actual body used to fighting with them. So the way I'm dividing up your clones is 100 for taijutsu practice, 100 for ninjutsu practice, 100 for fuinjutsu practice, and 100 for your nature transformation practice. It is the first step in being able to truly master a jutsu. At the moment, Kakashi will help you with lightning and water, but wind users are really rare here in Konoha. I am not sure the one that I know of, who still lives here at least, is interested in teaching you, so you might have to figure it out on your own. Sorry, now go to bed, it's late and you have your first day at the academy tomorrow. Road to Konoha present day. You taught him nature transformation at 7? How many Jonin level techniques does he know? Tsunade decided that she shouldn't be surprised by what Naruto had learned, or how fast he learned it. Yeah, it's actually part of a new teaching method I was experimenting with. First I teach a single elemental jutsu of the element that they have an affinity for. Then I drill it into them until they have it down perfect so that they have an understanding of what the element they're trying to master feels like. Then I teach them pure nature transformation. Then a couple of more advanced ninjutsu, with a more complicated shape transformation. And when they master those, I teach them pure shape transformation. Jiraya continued walking, letting Tsunade reach the inevitable conclusion by herself. You mean, you taught him Rasengan? Has he mastered it? Has he perfected it yet? Smirking, Jiraya replied, well, you'll just have to wait and see. I hate you sometimes, Jiraya. Konoha, 4 years, 10 months, 12 days ago. Naruto was so excited he barely slept. As soon as his alarm rang, he leapt out of bed and pulled on his trademark orange jumper. Do you really have to wear that much orange, kid? Ignoring Kurama, Naruto packed his stuff and ran to Jiraya's room. Ero-sensei. It's time to wake up. Come on. Wake up. Grumbling, Jiraiya got out of bed and began to get dressed. Quiet down, brat. You'll wake the whole damn neighborhood. Still half asleep, Jiraiya staggered out of his room. Meet me at Training Ground 0, make your clones and wait for me. I'll be there in a few minutes. Naruto got there in 2 minutes flat. He made his clones, separated them into 4 groups, and began pacing the training ground, waiting for his sensei to show up. After 5 minutes he was planning on shouting at Jiraiya. After 10 minutes of waiting he wanted to kill him instead. Sorry I'm late, brat, I couldn't find your present. Naruto immediately forgot his plans of vengeance. Present? He seemed to teleport across the training ground, stopping directly in front of Jiraiya, eyes shining like the sea. Did you say present? Naruto held his hands out expectantly. Sometimes I forget you're not even 8 yet, brat. Placing a smallish rectangular box in Naruto's hands, he said, open it up, I'm sure you'll love it, it's very useful. Naruto opened the box. Inside was a dark blue headband holding a pair of silver-framed goggles. Very useful things, goggles. Keeps things out of your eyes, like wind, water, and dust. Plus you can wear them like a Hittite, which is good practice for when you become a real ninja. And look here, see that? Touch that seal and it activates the built-in telescopic lenses. Neat, huh? Seeing tears in Naruto's eyes, Jiraiya thought Naruto didn't like the present. Sorry, if you don't like them I can return them and get. Naruto cut him off and gave him a large hug, strapping them on as soon as he was done. Thanks, Gigi, it's the best present anyone ever gave me. Giving Naruto's hair a friendly ruffle, he pushed Naruto's shoulder. Get going, I'll get your clones started. You don't want to be late for your first day, do you? Smiling widely, Naruto ran off, waving over his shoulder. Bye, Ero-sensei. I'll see you after class today. Naruto made it to the academy with plenty of time to spare. In fact, he was one of the first to make it to the academy. There was a quiet girl with black-blue hair in the back, who was watching Naruto without him realizing it. A boy in a fur-lined coat in the middle, who was currently asleep, and in the front there was a boy, whose dark hair looked like a duck had landed on his head, who was clearly brooding. Sitting in the window seat next to him, Naruto said, lighten up, duck hair, it's the first day in the academy. You should be happy, HN, come on. Smile. Aren't you happy, HN? I don't know about you, but I've been looking forwards to this day since I was 4. HN, you know it's amazing how many uses for HN you have. You're a wonderful conversationalist. Go away, you orange freak. Naruto pretended to fall off of his chair. Kami! Don't scare me like that. I thought you were a mute. My name's Naruto. Uzumaki Naruto. I'm going to be Hokage one day, believe it. What's your name, Duckhair? Uchiha Sasuke. Uchiha, aren't you from the clan with the spinning eye thing? I heard your eyes can see chakra and use it to predict people's moves. Is that true? That sounds so cool. I wish my eye did something like that. It just makes things blow up most of the time. Ignoring you won't work, will it? Nope. Jiraiya-sensei says I'm the most stubborn person he has ever met. In the back, the quiet girl giggled. Fine, yes, my clan possesses the Sharingan, and yes, it can see other people's chakra. But I don't know from personal experience. Now go away. Naruto! Is that you? A voice Naruto hadn't heard in almost a year called from the front classroom door. Looking up, Naruto saw his old friends Naruto Shikamaru and Akimichi Choji. Shikamaru strolled over to Naruto, at what those who knew the lazy Nara would call a dead sprint. Where were you for the last 10 months? I haven't seen you since before your birthday. Stuff happened on my birthday. I'll tell you the story later. It's complicated and we don't have time right now. Turning to Choji, Naruto blinked at his friend's new headwear. Choji, why are you wearing your underwear on your head? What? I'm not. It's a bandana. But Naruto wasn't paying attention anymore. The prettiest girl he had ever seen had just walked into the room. She had long pink hair and large jade green eyes. She was wearing a knee-length, short-sleeved red dress, slid up to the waist on one side, over dark green leggings that ended just below her knees. Naruto was in front of her before anyone could blink. You're pretty. What's your name? The quiet girl frowned at this. She had hoped the blonde would notice her. You think I'm pretty? The pink-haired girl looked mildly surprised at this. What about my forehead? It's huge. Naruto said, turning his head sideways. I didn't notice it. My name's Harino Sakura. Nice to meet you. Smiling, Sakura held out her hand for Naruto to shake. He's not half bad, Sakura thought. He's no Sasuke-kun, but at least he thinks I'm pretty. Alright class, listen up. Called a new voice, which belonged to the Talish man with black hair, done up in a spiky ponytail, wearing the standard dark blue shinobi uniform, with the sleeves rolled up to mid-forearm, and a green, Chunin flak jacket. I said listen up. The noise level in the class dropped immediately. My name is Yumino Irika. I'll be your sensei for the next 4 years. This guy, he pointed to a similarly dressed ninja with silver hair covered by a bandana, is Mizuki. He's the secondary instructor for this class. Class begins now. Naruto was never so bored in his life. Irika-sensei seemed nice enough, but his lectures on ninja history were boring and he knew everything Irika had to say about chakra theory. There were a few times he wanted to correct Irika's take on chakra theory, but Naruto had realized that Irika was dumbing it down for the kids who had never heard about it before. Finally the bell for lunch rang and Naruto ran off to buy himself lunch. Heading to the outdoor eating area, Naruto saw Shikamaru and Choji and headed to sit with them. Hey guys, what's up? Nothing, said Shikamaru. Oem na minoem. Choji was eating and unable to speak. Oh. Hey Sakura-chan. Naruto said, the pink-haired girl walking in their general direction. Waving her over, he said, do you want to sit with us? Sure, thank you Naruto-san. Just Naruto is fine, Sakura-chan. Hey Naruto, mind telling us why you went missing for almost a year? Shikamaru asked. We were worried. Well, I tried to find you on my birthday but a mob attacked me. No way? Really? Choji looked at Naruto with shock. Why would a mob attack you? A mob attacked him? Sakura thought, oh, no. He seemed so nice. Don't tell me he's the reason. It's complicated, and technically a secret, Naruto said in between mouthfuls of food. Well, what happened? Choji and I were looking all over the place for you for months. You could have told us where you were. Sorry GCK. Naruto had thought his food tasted a little funny but now he couldn't breathe. Naruto! What's wrong? Choji asked of the gasping blonde. Kami! Someone get a nurse, he's turning green. Sakura shouted. Naruto had started foaming at the mouth. Shikamaru noticed the slightly green-tinged foam. I think he's been poisoned. He was poisoned on his first day at the academy? Tsunade was furious that someone would try to kill a 7-year-old 3 times in less than a year. Yeah, it wasn't the last time either, the brat's made of iron. How could someone do something like that? Shizen used poisons in battle, but she would never poison a child. She couldn't believe someone would do it not once, but multiple times. We managed to catch one of the perpetrators eventually. It was the same one who hired Zabuza. You said one of there was more than one? Like I said, the only reason I haven't raised Konoha myself yet is because the brat likes it for reasons even I can't fathom at the moment. Jiraiya-sama, what happened next? Well, Konoha, 4 years, 10 months, 12 days ago. Naruto woke slowly. His mouth felt like someone poured glue down it. Water, he gasped. Here you go, kid. Naruto turned his head to see Jiraiya sitting next to him, a thunderous scowl on his face. I came as soon as your clones dispelled. Well, that explained Naruto's splitting headache. Someone put enough poison in your food to kill the entire school. Naruto's eyes bugged out. How'd I live? Apparently it wasn't enough to kill you. Your stomach must be lined with iron. I helped Kit. Thanks, Kurama. I owe you one. Naruto sent back. Kurama says he helped. I guess he would. Regardless, tell him I said thanks. Jiraiya walked towards the door. I have things to take care of. It's late. Get some more rest. You'll need it for class tomorrow, and you'll have to make some extra clones to catch up with your training. Good night, Ero-sensei. Good night, brat. Konoha, 4 years, 10 months, 11 days ago. Naruto. What are you doing here? The medics said they didn't think you'd make it. There was supposed to be enough poison to kill 100 people in your food. Choji was surprised to see Naruto, here first thing in the morning, looking as energetic as he always did. Naruto. I was with the medics when they were pumping your stomach. You should be dead. Sakura was glad to see Naruto alive. You really are troublesome, aren't you? Despite his choice of words, Shikamaru was glad to see his friend alive. In the back of the classroom, Hyuga Hinata rubbed her puffy eyes. She had cried herself to sleep last night, thinking Naruto had been killed. But here he was right in front of her, laughing and joking like he did yesterday, like nothing had happened. She pinched herself to make sure she wasn't dreaming. Oh, duckbutt, what did I miss yesterday? Naruto plopped onto the seat he had sat in yesterday, right next to Uchiha Sasuke. Duckbutt? Sasuke couldn't believe someone would call anyone that, let alone him, the last of the Uchiha. Have you looked in a mirror lately? So, what did I miss? Why you seek and look at MMIN notes. If why you like. Naruto turned to look at the speaker. It was the quiet girl from the back of the class. My name's Uzumaki Naruto. What's yours? Hyuga, Hinata. Hinata managed to stutter out, while slowly turning red. Thanks, Hinata-chan. Hey, are you feeling alright? You're bright red. Do you have a fever? Naruto placed a hand on her forehead, causing the shy girl to pass out. Oh no! Is she alright? Was she poisoned too? You really are an idiot, aren't you, fish cake? Sasuke decided that if the orange idiot was going to give him an insulting nickname, he would return the favor. What are you talking about? She passed out. That can't be normal. Someone needs to get her to the nurse. She'll be fine, fish cake. Fine then, I'll take her to the nurse myself. Duckbutt. Naruto picked Hinata up and carried her, bridal style, to the nurse's office. Partway there Hinata woke up. Is Enin and Naruto-kun CC carrying me? She thought. You okay, Hinata-chan? You worried me, Naruto asked Hinata when he felt her stir. Hinata promptly passed out again. Huh? She must be really sick. Hinata came back to class just before the second lesson started. Naruto handed her her notebook and a piece of paper covered in writing. Here's your notebook, Hinata. And here's a copy of my notes. I hope you are feeling better now. Not trusting herself to speak, Hinata nodded her head and went back to her seat. It was lunchtime and Naruto, Shikamaru, Choji, and Sakura were all sitting together again. How are you feeling today, Naruto? Sakura asked the hyperactive blonde. Should you even be here today? I mean, yesterday you were poisoned. Shouldn't you be getting some rest? My stomach's made of iron. It'll take more than a little poison to put me down. Naruto, there was more than a little poison in your food yesterday. Shikamaru gave Naruto a pointed look. Did you do anything to make sure it doesn't happen again? Yeah, my lunch is from home, and I sealed it in a storage seal, locked with a blood seal. I'd like to see them open it. Naruto twisted the top off of a bottle of water. Wait, Naruto. Where'd you get that water from? Sakura asked, worried about her new friend. But it was too late. Naruto had gulped down the entire bottle, and was already turning green. You bought it from the cafeteria, didn't you? It was poisoned, wasn't it? How stupid can you be? But it was sealed. I thought it would be safe. Ugh. I'll be right back. Naruto rushed to the bathroom and proceeded to be heartily sick. Naruto managed to stagger out to the academy training grounds just in time for afternoon classes, today's being taijutsu, followed by weapons practice before going back inside for Naruto's least favorite class, chakra theory. Naruto-kun doesn't look good again. Did someone poison him again? Hinata wondered. He's still here? If it was me, I'd use being poisoned as an excuse to go home, the lazy Nara mumbled. Wow, Naruto's tough. I wonder how he does it. Choji was impressed by the blonde's resilience. Mizuki waved Naruto over to him. Okay Naruto, since you missed yesterday, I'll teach you the basics of the academy-style taijutsu. Here, take this stance. Mizuki demonstrated the technique correctly, but with a clearly sloppy base stance of the academy style. Sensei, your form is sloppy, your feet are too close together, and your arms are too far apart. You should do it like this. Naruto demonstrated the correct stance. His feet exactly the right distance apart, and his arms in the perfect position. He could have been a picture from a taijutsu scroll. Damn, I guess I can't sabotage this part of his education, Mizuki thought to himself. Ah well, Mizuki sheepishly rubbed the back of his head. It's been years since I used the academy style, and this is my first year as an academy instructor. How do you get so good at the academy style? Your form's even better than Irika's. Ero-sensei taught me. I spent 2 hours a day for the past year drilling in it, and it's pretty simple really. I know a few other styles, but I'm not as good at them. Naruto, why do you call your sensei a pervert? Because he is one. His hobby is peeking on girls at the hot springs. He has no shame, so I call him Ero-sensei, and I'll keep doing it until he stops. Mizuki's sweat dropped at this and decided that he really didn't want to know, a move that he would regret in the long run. If you really are better than me at the academy style, why don't you help some of the other students? Irika interrupted Mizuki and Naruto. Haruno Sakura needs some help, so does Aburame Shino. Okay, Irika-sensei. Naruto cheered, and rushed off to help Sakura. The rest of the month went by like this. Naruto was poisoned in a variety of ways. Sometimes they'd manage to get to his food, other times it was poison pins stuck in his school bag. Once it was a blow dart to the back of his neck. Despite being continuously sick, Naruto refused to give up. In the afternoons Naruto would help those who were having difficulty with the academy style, and then he would spar with Irika-sensei, or occasionally Mizuki-sensei. He, Shikamaru, Choji, and Sakura had become good friends, until one day. Konoha, 4 years, 9 months, 10 days ago. It was lunchtime when it happened. Naruto, Sakura, Shikamaru, and Choji were all eating together. Hey Naruto, you never did tell us what happened on your birthday that made you disappear like that. Shikamaru reminded the blonde of the subject they were discussing before he was poisoned the first time. So, are you going to tell us or not? Well, I was attacked by a drunken mob during the festival, Naruto began, but was interrupted by Sakura. Festival? Sakura was worried. Something terrible had happened to her during the festival that celebrated the defeat of the Kyuubi. Naruto, just when is your birthday? October 10th. Why? Oh, Kami, please tell me I'm having a nightmare. Sakura thought, it can't be him. He's too nice for it to be his fault. Please let it be someone else. Anyways, I was attacked by this drunk mob, and they chased me all over Konoha. I had to jump, fall, off of a roof to escape from them at one point, but they caught me when I ran into a dead-end alley. Sakura was terrified of what he might say next, and Naruto, what happened next? Nobody seemed to notice her stutter. Well, the bad men had cornered me and I really thought I was going to die. In his mind Kurama interrupted him. Kid, you weren't even awake at the time. Ignoring Kurama for the moment, Naruto continued his story. But the Hokage and Jiraya of the Sannin saved me. I can't really remember what they did, 'cause I passed out from blood loss before Gigi finished talking, but I bet it was super cool. I can't believe you. How could you? Tears streaming down her face, Sakura stood up. I never want to talk to you again. I can't believe you pretended to be my friend, you murderer. Sakura was heartbroken to believe that he was the monster that was responsible for her father's death. She fled, sobbing, hiding in the bathroom stall with tears streaming down her face as she thought, why did it have to be him? He was so nice to me. Was it all some sick plot to hurt me as much as he could? Sakura didn't return until after Naruto's 8th birthday came and went, and when he saw her again she gave him the cold shoulder, pretending he didn't exist. Instead of hanging out with Shikamaru, Choji and Naruto, she joined the other girls, except Hinata, in fawning over Sasuke. Konoha, 4 years, 8 months, 21 days ago. I don't see what's so cool about Duckbutt. Why are the girls all over him? Naruto asked a few weeks after the incident, as Naruto called it. Probably because he's dark and mysterious, and Naruto, even you can't deny he's strong. He beats you 6 times out of every 10 in taijutsu practice, and you're better than the teachers. Shikamaru pointed out. What does Sakura-chan see in him? Naruto pouted, ignoring Shikamaru. I spoke with Ino. Apparently Sakura's father was part of the mob that attacked you. I know, I feel terrible. But it's not my fault. I didn't ask to be nearly murdered on my 7th birthday. I even apologized to her, but she won't listen to me. It's troublesome, but all you can do is wait. Give her time. I am sure she'll want to speak with you again. As Shikamaru was speaking, the bell rang for the next class. Come on, Naruto, it's time for class. Maybe you can take some of your frustrations on Sasuke's duck-haired face. Good idea, Shika. Beating Duckbutt always makes me feel better. Grinning like a maniac, Naruto sped off. Troublesome blondes. Once again, Naruto was Sasuke's sparring partner. After the first week, no one in the class really wanted to fight either of them. While using the academy style, Iruka and Mizuki could beat both of them, but only while using their preferred taijutsu styles. Yo, Duckbutt, ready to get your ass kicked? Naruto taunted, while bouncing lightly in place. Naruto had gotten quite good at understanding Sasuke's lack of speech. This one meant something along the lines of, you won't get the chance to touch me, fish cake. Is that so, Duckbutt? Bet you 50 Ryo I get first blood, or as Naruto heard it, you're on. Soon as the match started, they fell into the familiar pattern of kicks, punches, spins, jumps, and dodges. They sparred so often that they knew each other's moves almost by heart. Naruto was so familiar with Sasuke's interceptor fist style that he felt he could recreate it on his own, while Sasuke, as strange as it sounds, understood how Naruto's mind worked so that he was able to predict 75% of Naruto's moves and dodge the other 25%. Why are you always so emo, Duckbutt? You're the top in the class in almost everything. All the girls love you. And if you have even the slightest difficulty with something, Mizuki is over here in a heartbeat to help you with it. Naruto had been wondering why Sasuke was always so depressed, but whenever he tried to find out, he got responses like, none of your business, demon. And why, so you can kill him too? You mean you don't know? My family is dead. I'm the last Uchiha. We were once the largest clan in Konoha. Sasuke answered, scowling in between blows. My family's dead too. I'm the last Uzumaki. There were so many of us 30 years ago. We had our own village. It was raised during the Third Shinobi War. Only my mother survived, and she died an hour after I was born. Naruto understood the pain of being alone, but he couldn't understand why Sasuke let the pain overwhelm him. Sasuke had so much good in his life, why did he ignore it? Was your family murdered? Mine was killed right in front of me. By someone I trusted. There were tears in Sasuke's eyes by now. Well, technically my family was murdered right in front of me by someone I trust. But I was a newborn when it happened, and he was under a genjutsu when he killed my parents. At this point Kurama interjected. Ah, you trust me? Naruto sent back a mental nod, not trusting himself to split his attention 3 ways during this match. So, I guess I don't know exactly how you feel, but I know enough. Naruto paused while he kicked Sasuke, finally catching him off guard. To tell you, he continued while punching his downed opponent before he could get back up, that yeah, your life sucked. But at least you haven't spent the last year dodging assassination attempts daily. Sasuke had gotten up, his lip bleeding, all tactics forgotten. He charged Naruto with a mad look in his eyes. Look, Sasuke. Naruto was now effortlessly parrying Sasuke's enraged attacks. Yeah, your parents were killed. But at least you got to know them. I never met my parents. Sure, they got taken away from you, but you got, what? 6 years with them? I got an hour. An hour I can't even remember. Now Naruto was on the verge of crying. You gotta look past the pain, Sasuke. Remember the good times. And if you ever want someone to talk to about it, come to me. I'll be there for you when you need me. Sasuke stopped his mad attacks. He pulled something out of his pocket, pegged Naruto between the eyes with it, and stormed off. Rubbing his forehead, Naruto bent down to see what Sasuke had thrown at him before he left. It was a 50 real coin. Poor kid, the girl he likes blames him for her father's death. Shizen had been sniffling since Jiraya had told that part of the story. I'm more concerned about the poison. When did it stop? You weren't clear on that. By this point, the only reason Tsunade was going back to Konoha was for the kid. It took them 3 years to realize that they made him immune to poison in the first month. Jiraiya was grinning at this. After all, being immune to poisons was a huge plus for ninja. After a while, Naruto stopped caring. We were lucky all the real assassins had been warned off by Zabuza. Apparently the person who sent him after Naruto had broken a major rule by giving him false and misleading information. What about that shy girl you mentioned, the one with the obvious crush on him? Did he ever notice her? Or did the pink-haired girl stop hating him? Shizen seemed particularly interested in Naruto's love life. Jiraiya was proud. How long was the Uchiha in the academy for? I'd think they'd let him graduate after a year, 2 at the most. Actually, that's an important part of the story. Konoha, 4 years, 8 months, 19 days ago. After the incident with the 50 real coin, Naruto's relationship with Sasuke turned into a full-blown rivalry, each trying to prove that they were the better ninja. They sought to outdo each other in everything. Their taijutsu spars were the stuff of legends in the academy. Eventually it became impossible for the teachers to declare a victory. Although Naruto and Sasuke seemed to have some way of keeping score themselves, the battles would start as soon as the bell rang and only end when class was over. As time went on, their individual strengths and weakness became clear. Sasuke was much faster than Naruto, and every fight he seemed to get faster still. After a few months it was rare for Naruto to get the first hit, and by the end of the year, Naruto would only land 3 or 4 blows. But that was all Naruto needed to land. Because what Naruto lacked in speed, he made up in raw physical power. Sasuke was good at reading his opponent's movements, even those of someone as unpredictable as Naruto. Naruto was good at improvising, making up complex plans on the fly, changing from one plan of attack to another as soon as Sasuke figured out what he was doing. Naruto was a stamina monster. After the first 3 fights where Naruto beat Sasuke simply by outlasting him, Sasuke worked on becoming more and more efficient in his attacks and defense, always moving the least amount needed to avoid a blow, never throwing a punch or kick unless he was sure that it would do some damage. Or as a part of a plan, Sasuke took his, comparatively, tiny pool of stamina and stretched it as far as it would go. In the second year at the academy, they began learning the basics of ninjutsu. Naruto had a lot more experience than Sasuke, especially when it came to actual jutsu, but Sasuke was a natural. His fingers longer, thinner and more flexible than Naruto's, he quickly used his natural speed and flexibility to catch up to, and then surpassed Naruto in terms of hand-seal fluidity, allowing him to theoretically fire more jutsu off faster than Naruto. Naruto's physical stamina carried over to his chakra as well. While Sasuke could cast more in a short period of time, Naruto could keep casting long after Sasuke died of chakra exhaustion. There were 2 areas that Sasuke had a clear lead over Naruto in: Genjutsu, which Naruto lacked all but the most basic skills in, and the actual schoolwork. Naruto was still having difficulty with written tests. He would read questions wrong, put answers down in the wrong spot, or just completely blank out. The fact that Sasuke had him beat in these 2 things drove Naruto nuts, and ensured that Sasuke kept the number 1 spot in the class. Sakura had changed the most, but not in a good way. After the shock of finding out that Naruto had a hand in her father's death, she seemed listless for weeks, before seemingly deciding that the best way to get Naruto back for the pain he caused her was to devote herself to his eternal rival Sasuke, becoming one of his many fangirls, always cheering the loudest when Naruto lost, punching him if he tried to talk to her, and ignoring him the rest of the time. It was official. Hinata hated Sakura. At first it was just a little jealousy, because Naruto liked Sakura and barely seemed to notice her, but after Sakura trampled Naruto's heart in the mud, she wanted to kill her. If only she had his confidence. Maybe there was something she could do about that. Shikamaru and Choji were largely unchanged, still the same middle-of-the-road average, and neither of them were really interested in being more than that. Konoha, 3 years, 4 months, 2 days ago. Sasuke was frustrated. No matter how hard he tried, Naruto was always right behind him, always pushing, never letting him rest on his laurels, and worst of all, despite their similar painful pasts he was always cheerful. It drove Sasuke mad. Why were they so different, and how was Naruto so strong if he was so happy? Sasuke had given up everything in his quest for vengeance, and Naruto seemed dead set on proving that you could be happy and strong at the same time. So Sasuke found himself stuck following Naruto around in an attempt to find out just what Naruto's secret was. So far Naruto had just wandered around Konoha for an hour, only stopping to eat a prodigious amount of ramen. Is this all he does? How is he so strong if he doesn't actually train? Sasuke mumbled under his breath. It's not his training time for another 37 minutes and 45 seconds. Sasuke nearly jumped a foot when he heard a soft voice directly behind him. Hinata? Are you following me? No, Naruto. Something she had said just clicked in Sasuke's mind. I have to say, the fact that you Naruto's schedule down to the second is creepy. He has the same schedule every day. It's not hard. Normally you stutter a lot more. And in Naruto I isn't here, Hinata said, blushing crimson. I see. So what does he do next? He goes to Training Ground Zero. Follow me. Hinata led Sasuke after Naruto. Sasuke was impressed. She followed him like a ghost. Sasuke wasn't even sure that he would ever notice her if she was following him. Eventually they came to a blasted wasteland that stretched from one edge of Training Ground 7 to a ravine almost half a mile away. The fact that Sasuke couldn't remember anything like this being on the maps of Konoha he had seen was lost by what filled the training ground. There were hundreds of Narutos grouped into 10s and 20s, each group doing something different. So, what did we learn today, guys? Naruto spoke to his copies. You all know the drill. Disperse in groups of 10 with 10-second breaks in between. Naruto sat down in a meditative pose as the copies dispersed. Half an hour later, when the last group disappeared in a puff of smoke, Naruto stood up. Oh, so that's what I was doing wrong. Okay, now that problem's solved, let's get to work on the next bit, yeah? Kage Bunshin no Jutsu. Once again there were hundreds, if not thousands, of Narutos in the field. Alright guys, get back to work. A Bunshin Jutsu? That's Naruto's worst jutsu. Sasuke stayed the entire time Naruto was there, watching him, trying to figure out what drove him. He came back twice a week. Konoha, 2 years, 11 months, 17 days ago. Uchiha Sasuke was nervous, and he hated being nervous. The civilian council had summoned him to its chambers for an important meeting, but the council wasn't here. Instead of the usual 20 members of the civilian council, there were only 3. At the head of the table sat the 3 elders. In the center was the bandaged Shimura Danzo, whose lone cold eye sent shivers up Sasuke's spine. On his right was the bearded and bespectacled Mitokado Hamura. On Danzo's left was the sour-faced Yutane Koharu. Sasuke couldn't figure out what he'd done to get summoned by the elders. We called you here to discuss your outstanding success in the academy, Danzo began, his voice flat and emotionless. We wish to invite you to join a special subgroup of ANBU. Of course you will graduate at the top of your class. You need not worry about getting the Rookie of the Year award, Koharu reassured Sasuke. You may take the Chunin exams at later date if you're not satisfied with a field promotion. By joining you are not disqualifying yourself from anything, Hamura said in a bland, bored voice. Sasuke blinked in shock. They wanted him to join ANBU. He must be doing something right. Itachi was 13 when he joined ANBU and he was only 9. But he only really started to get strong because of Naruto. What if it was Naruto that made him strong? Does this offer apply to Uzumaki Naruto as well? Academically he's not that far behind me, and we're pretty evenly matched in terms of skill. He's slightly better at taijutsu while I hold the edge with ninjutsu. If you think I'm worth recruiting, surely Naruto is as well. If his rivalry with Naruto was the secret to his growth, he wouldn't give it up for the world. Unfortunately, no, it does not. And even if it did, his guardian has made his desires very clear to us. Naruto is to stay in the academy until he graduates at a normal age. Danzo answered for the council. His unnaturally cold voice gave Sasuke the creeps. Then I am afraid I must decline your generous offer. What? Koharu screeched, jumping up from her seat. What does that demon have to do with advancing your career? From the power you so clearly desire. My rivalry with Naruto has taught me a few important lessons. Do you know how he got to be as good as he is? I asked his sensei, Jiraya-sama, one day, what Naruto's secret was. Do you know what he said? Hard work and lots of it. I followed him one day to see just how hard he trained. Did you know he uses a technique that would kill anyone else to maximize his training? He uses 2000 Kage Bunshin to practice what he knows, and he does this every day before the academy, and he can still outlast me in any chakra-related exercise. The council watched silently as the revenge-obsessed boy raved about his rival. Hamura and Kohara shared a look and a thought. Is he gay? Seemingly ignoring the odd looks the council gave him, Sasuke continued. That's one thing I learned, just from watching him, the value of hard work. Before I met him I thought I was a hard worker, but I never seemed to get stronger. After sparring with Naruto on a regular basis, and seeing how his strength grew too, I realized something else, something that you want to take away from me. Iron sharpens iron. Without Naruto to push me, I won't get stronger. Sasuke stood up and walked out of the council room. Did he just turn us down? Hamura blinked in shock. We really need to remove Naruto if we want to proceed with our plans. Why don't we kill him ourselves? Kohara grumbled. Sure, he seems to be immune to poison. Probably because of that damn fox. But I bet he's not immune to beheading. No, that would be too obvious. Then we would have to deal with Jiraya. And he's already snooping around, Hamura pointed out. I will deal with them myself. Danzo's cold voice brought the conversation to an end. Jiraya, how do you know all that? Surely you weren't there during their conversation. You aren't just making things up now, are you? Tsunade was skeptical about his information on the Elder Council's meeting, especially the bit after Sasuke left. I'm a spy master. Almost nothing goes on in Konoha without me knowing about it. Jiraiya-sama, why didn't you stop the poisonings yourself then? Just because I know who's doing it doesn't mean I have enough physical evidence to stop them. Besides, I didn't want to make martyrs out of them by just killing them myself. I needed a court to find them guilty, to show others that Konoha considers it a crime to poison children, no matter what they hold inside of them. So what happened next? Well, I guess the next really important thing happens just before the start of Naruto's last year in the academy. Konoha, 1 year, 11 months, 9 days ago. Hey, Erosenin, what are we doing all the way out here? Well, kid, since you finally mastered your nature transformation, and are about to start your final year in the academy, I thought a celebration was in order. Okay, but that doesn't explain the ginormous barrel of sake you're carrying. Well, it's part of your gift. I hope you don't expect me to actually drink that much sake. I could bathe in it if you wanted. You'll see, just wait till we get to the top of this hill. A few minutes later they came to a large clearing on the large flat top of the hill. It was bisected by a large waterfall and surrounded by trees. Ah, here we are. It's out of the way enough to be private, but it also overlooks the second best peeping spot in the whole village. Crossing his arms, Naruto scowled at his sensei. I seriously hope you don't expect me to join you in watching the women bathing, you pervert. I'm no pervert. I'm a super pervert, I know, we've had this conversation before. Naruto interrupted Jiraiya before he could get going. Now, what are we here for, Erosenin? Placing the large sake barrel he had been carrying over his shoulder on the ground, Jiraiya said, Pay attention, this is part of your gift. Jiraiya bit his thumb, drawing blood, and began to form hand seals, calling the name of each one as he made them. Boar, dog, bird, monkey, ram, kuchiois and ojutsu. Slamming his hands on the ground, Jiraiya summoned Gamma, keeper of the Toad summoning scroll, and Jiraiya's good friend. This is the summoning scroll for the Toad contract. I believe it's time for you to sign the contract like your father before you. Congratulations, you've earned it. Ever since Jiraiya-sensei, Naruto would never admit to thinking of him like that, had summoned that large scroll. Naruto's eye itched. Now if it was his right eye, the one with the purple band in his iris, he wouldn't be surprised. But this was his left eye, the normal one. And as the itching grew to a burning, Naruto became worried. It's making my eye itch. Are you sure it's a good idea? I can't see how it could hurt. Now bite your thumb and write your name in blood on the contract, then make a hand print of your right hand underneath your name. Jiraiya unfurled the scroll to the first empty spot, right underneath the name of Naruto's father, Namikaze Minato. Seeing his father's name, Naruto swallowed and approached the scroll. Still ignoring the burning in his eye, Naruto bit his thumb and wrote his name, all the while his eye was burning. As he made his hand print, 3 red tears fell from his eye, landing right next to his hand print. Bringing his left hand to his face, he brushed the moisture from his cheek. I'm crying tears of blood again. I wonder what it means. Naruto thought, Hey, Ero-sensei, is something wrong with my eye? Naruto turned to Jiraiya and looked at him with now matching eyes. Your left eye matches your right eye now, kid. Jiraya stared at Naruto's now matching multicolored eyes. The first time his eye changed when he was nearly killed, but his second eye changed when he signed a contract scroll? And that color, why do they remind me of… No, it can't be, I'm imagining things, Jiraiya thought to himself. Out loud he said, put as much chakra into the summoning as you can. I want you to summon Gamabunta, the Toad Boss, on your first try. The sake is for him, to commemorate you signing the contract. Naruto bit his thumb, made the hand seals, slammed his hands on the ground and tried to force as much chakra as he could into the summoning. Oddly, he felt nothing. No matter how much chakra he poured into the jutsu, nothing seemed to happen. His chakra just seemed to swirl around, going nowhere. Just as he was about to admit defeat and ask Jiraiya what he was doing wrong, Jiraiya spoke from behind him. KK kid, JJ, just how much CHCH chakra did you put into that? Noticing Jiraiya's stutter, Naruto felt a ball of dread grow in his stomach. Turning around and looking up, Naruto's jaw dropped. They were surrounded by toads. Hundreds and hundreds of toads, from tiny tadpoles to the mighty Gamabunta. Every toad on Mount Myaboku must have been summoned here. Mouth opening and closing like a fish, Naruto finally managed to squeak out a single, "Oops, we're going to need more sake," Jiraiya croaked. "Ah, Jiraiya, it seems you have found him at last." A giant, wrinkled, gray-brown toad with squinted eyes and a large, oddly shaped square hat and a necklace with the kanji for oil on it was the first to speak. "Are you sure? What are you doing here? Surely he couldn't have summoned all of you." Jiraiya stared at the surrounding toads, wondering just what had happened. The call we answered was both more ancient and binding than the one written in the scroll. "WW, what do you mean?" Naruto managed to stutter out. "Walker of many roads, you bear the gift of the one who made us long ago. When you call, we are honor-bound to answer you. No blood or chakra may be taken from you to summon us, young summoner. All you need to know is how to summon us. Information contained in the seals on the scrolls of summoning. Find the scrolls, sign them, and the summons bound to the scroll will answer you. Any summon will obey you, even if you haven't signed its scroll. But…" The Agama Sannin raised its voice. "Remember this, for the long journey ahead. There are many roads often tread lying before you. Ignore them and make your own path. Break the cycle, Namikaze Uzumaki Naruto. Free us from the chains of hate encircling the world." The Agama Sannin closed his eyes and drifted off. Soon he was snoring peacefully. Does he just fall asleep like that often? Naruto wondered out loud. Only after he's gotten himself worked up over something. Brat, a large rust-colored toad, with a scar next to one eye and bright red markings around his eyes, lips and the top of his head. He was wearing a blue happy coat, with a Tonto-style blade sheathed at his hip and a pipe the length of a 3-story building hung from one corner of his mouth. Name's Gamabunta, Bunta for short. I'm the Toad Boss. I see you brought some sake. Not nearly enough, but Jiraiya's always been a cheapskate. You're the size of a small mountain. You could drink a lake of sake. Ignoring Jiraiya's outburst, Gamabunta continued, I'll send some toads back to Mount Myaboku for some more sake. We're celebrating tonight, needless to say. 300 drunken toads make a hell of a racket. By the time the party was over, the hilltop was completely trashed, Konoha hadn't gotten any sleep, and there was a large mob looking for Jiraiya to kill him for something he couldn't remember doing. I'm never drinking again. Naruto staggered back to his apartment clutching his head, gently bumping against walls, lampposts, small animals, other people and the occasional purple elephant. I swear, I'm never drinking again. If I never see another purple elephant in my life it'll be too soon. PP purple elephant? Are you alright and Naruto-kun? A soft voice stuttered from behind him. Unknown to him, Hinata had followed him and Jiraiya last night, silently cheering when Jiraiya had offered him the scroll, crying when she saw his eye bleeding, and cheering again when he got his second eye. Of course, when the toads were summoned she almost fainted, but when she heard his real last name, she actually fainted. When she woke up, the party was raging all around her, the toads seemingly oblivious to her presence, and Naruto and Jiraiya were too drunk to notice anything odd about her being there, although Jiraiya did wink at her when he saw her staring at Naruto. She stayed the night, watching the drunken antics of her crush and his godfather, laughing at the reveling toads, wishing she had the courage to join them. Why you don't look so well, do you? And need any help getting home, Naruto-kun? Oh, look, it's Hinata-chan. are you really here this time? I thought I saw you at the party last night, but there was a pink elephant next to you, so I guess it was the sake. Naruto was wobbling as he tried to remain vertical. Ugh, I feel like someone put me through the spin cycle. Naruto seemed to tip forward in slow motion. Hinata wasn't fast enough and he crashed right into her, knocking them both to the ground, seemingly unfazed by their predicament. Or perhaps he was still drunk. Naruto latched onto Hinata's waist and pulled her into a hug, his face resting on her shoulder. Hinata, blushing so hard she seemed to glow, passed out with a faint meep. Naruto woke slowly. He didn't remember his pillow being this comfortable, and as he snuggled deeper, his pillow let out a small eep. Suddenly wide awake, Naruto jumped back almost 6 feet, finally noticing that he wasn't, as he had first thought, in his bedroom, but in one of the small alleyways that he took to get home. Hinata-chan, I am sorry. I didn't hurt you did I? Still blushing crimson, Hinata managed to squeak out, and then not at all. Why you were the perfect GG gentleman. Why you didn't do anything I didn't want you to do. Realizing what she just said, Hinata managed to blush harder before running off. Naruto, on the other hand, still hadn't managed to put 2 and 2 together yet, despite almost half of Konoha, the half that didn't plot his death regularly, having hinted it to him several times. Even Hyuga Hayashi, in a rare moment of benevolence, had tried to hint to the thick-headed blonde how his daughter felt about him. Ah man, Hinata probably hates me now. Dejected and finally sober, Naruto dragged his feet on his way back to his apartment. Hopefully I can make it up to her somehow. I'd be really sad if she hated me. Why do I always have horrible luck with women? Road to Konoha, present day. He really is clueless, isn't he? They had stopped for a quick lunch and Tsunade was taking the opportunity to ask Jiraiya questions. I have never met anyone thicker than he is. The sad part is he thinks he was bad luck when it's the opposite. The brat's literally the luckiest person alive. Once, he walked past a gambling house and every slot machine in the place hit the jackpot at the same time. After that, I took him to a gambling hall to see if it was just a freak accident. Kid got 12 jackpots, won at the roulette wheel 7 times, and won so many poker hands, despite not even knowing how to play, that we got kicked out. We were allowed to keep our winnings though, on the condition that he doesn't come within 3 miles of the place again. Now I want to heal him so I can take him with me. Tsunade had real signs in her eyes, and she was practically drooling over how much money she could win with the kid. Was Naruto's last year in the academy peaceful, Jiraiya-sama? No, actually it was the most eventful. Konoha, 1 year, 10 months, 12 days ago. Naruto was excited. It was his last year in the academy and in 10 short months he'd finally be a real ninja. One step closer to his goal of becoming the strongest Hokage ever. Maybe he could make Rookie of the Year. He'd love to see the look on Sasuke's face if he managed to steal the award from him. After racing through the streets on his way to class, Naruto skidded through the door to his classroom. Ah man! How do you 3 beat me here every time? Already sitting in the classroom was Duckbutt Dog Breath, his other rival, Inuzuka Kiba, and Hinata-chan. I ran as hard as I could. And then Naruto-kun, the Hyuga CC complex is a 2-minute W walk from here. HN, to Naruto's trained ears that was. After I figured out you were trying to race me, I started sleeping on the roof. My mom makes my get here 2 hours before the academy even opens, Kiba grumbled. Arf. Kiba's hood barked. Oh, hello to you too, Akamaru. Kiba's partner, Akamaru, popped his head out of Kiba's hood, barking again. Akamaru jumped onto the table, his tail wagging. Who's a good puppy? You are. Yes you are, Naruto cooed while scratching Akamaru behind the ears. He's a puppy, not an imbecile, Naruto. Hey Naruto, what happened to your eyes? Looking up, Naruto saw his first 2 friends Shikamaru and Choji. Hey guys, you noticed fast. And I have no idea what happened or if it even does anything different from my right eye, Naruto said cheerfully, sitting down together. The 4 friends, and Sasuke, chatted about their vacations and what they did. Naruto would have loved to tell them about the Toad contract, but Jiraiya-sensei had told him not to tell anyone yet, and then, he fell down the stairs covered in pink paint, and quacking like a duck. Naruto was telling them of the many pranks he pulled that summer. Best part was he woke up half an hour later, and had no clue what had happened. They had his face on wanted posters for a week. Quiet down class. No one seemed to notice the voice from the front of the classroom. I said, "Quiet down, class." Irika-sensei used his infamous big head no jutsu and silence descended on the class. "Better. Today we start your fourth and final year in the academy," Irika said cheerfully. "During the first half of the year we shall finish our studies and the second half of the year will be devoted to practicing and reviewing all we have learned in the past 3.5 years. It was a tough year for Naruto. His test scores steadily dropped from middle of the class towards bottom rung. It seemed that the harder he tried the worse he did. By the 4-month mark it was clear to Naruto that he couldn't even get Rookie of the Year in his dreams now. By the 8-month mark it looked doubtful that he would even pass. Finally the day of the final exam arrived, and Naruto had decided to release some stress with the most awesome prank he ever pulled. The Hokage monument had been painted with a dizzying variety of colors and patterns, and next to the fourth's head there was a painting of a chibi Naruto giving the peace sign with a speech bubble proclaiming, "Space reserved for Uzumaki Naruto, future Hokage. Yeah, I'm a badass." Naruto muttered to himself triumphantly as he put the finishing touches on his handiwork. "Naruto! What the hell are you doing? Your final exam is in 10 minutes. Crap, it's Irika-sensei. He always manages to find me." Irika dragged a tied and gagged Naruto through the streets by his ear. While Lego I as enimig to mant and ere Naruto tried to speak through the rope gag Irika used to keep him relatively quiet. Dropping Naruto on the floor of the classroom, Irika began. "Since everyone is here now, we can begin our final exams. The schedule will be 4 hours of written exam, then ranged weapons testing, followed by a 3-minute spar with Mizuki or me, and finally the 3 Academy Jutsu." It was the hardest test Naruto had ever taken in his life. He was sure they hadn't learned some of the things on it. Naruto was the last to finish and he had a splitting headache when he was done, which impacted his performance on the range test. Instead of tying with Sasuke, like he usually did, he was 5th in the class. By the time of the taijutsu spar, he was feeling better, and was the only person in the class other than Sasuke to last the full 3 minutes against the sensei. Although he could have sworn Mizuki actually tried to kill him once or twice during the spar. Finally, they came to the 3 Academy Jutsu. Everyone was sitting in their normal seats and was asked to do the 3 Academy Jutsu in front of the class. Finally it was Naruto's turn. "Alright Naruto, begin." "Alright, time for the ultimate henge. Oryoku no Jutsu." There was a puff of smoke and instead of Naruto, there was an apparently naked buxom blonde girl tastefully covered with smoke. Half the class passed out with a nosebleed, the male half. I guess Erosenin was right. Women really are every man's weakness. "Naruto! Take this seriously!" Irika screamed while wiping the blood from his face. "But I am. I just knocked the entire male half of the class out with a simple henge. I even proved that Sasuke wasn't gay," Naruto said, pointing to Sasuke, who wasn't passed out, but clearly had a faraway look in his eyes and twin streaks of blood running out of his nose. "You should be thanking me. I just proved the Uchiha wasn't a lost cause. Fine, for the convincing, if unorthodox henge, I'll pass you on this part of the test. Next the Kawarimi." Fine, Kawarimi no Jutsu." Naruto switched with the handy log provided for this exercise. "All hail the log," Naruto muttered under his breath. "Pass." Finally the Bunshin Jutsu. "Alright. Take a look at this. Kage Bunshin no Jutsu." Naruto made 3 perfect shadow clones. "I can give you extra credit for that, Naruto, but it doesn't count towards your Bunshin grade," Irika said after consulting the rulebook. "What? But I can't do the normal Bunshin," Naruto exclaimed while looking panic-stricken. Mizuki did his best not to look smug. If it all went pear-shaped, Irika would be blamed for making the rule up. Serves him right for not noticing the genjutsu I placed on the book. Grinning slightly, Mizuki said, "Look, he did 3 Bunshin. Even if they were Kage Bunshin, and those are harder, we should pass him." Irika sighed. "I really wish I could, but the rules are clear. No Bunshin, no pass." Irika honestly looked upset. Inwardly Mizuki was dancing. Danzo would reward him quite well if he pulled this off. It was later when Naruto was sitting on the swing, staring out into space. All of the passing ninja had already gone home. "Hey Naruto, don't give up hope yet. There's a group of ANBU that you technically qualified to join. All you need to do is pass the initiation test. You see, there's this scroll of seals in the Hokage's office that you have to get." "How did he manage to fail with you teaching him Jiraya?" "I told you he was bad at genjutsu. His test had a genjutsu on it, And Irika missed the genjutsu on his rulebook too. Boy was pissed when he found out. Jiraiya-sama, did Naruto really steal the scroll of seals? Was this the plot you said Danzo had? One of them. Yes, now shut up and let me tell the story. Hime. Road to Konoha present day. Naruto, what are you doing in my office? Orioke no Jutsu. Road to Konoha present day. Wait. I'm trying to tell a story here, Hime. He beat Sensei with his sexy jutsu? Isn't that what I just said? Konoha 12 months 14 days ago. Naruto made it to the meeting ground almost 2 hours early. Let's see what's in this scroll. Naruto unfurled the scroll. It's full of kinjutsu. Did I grab the wrong one? This seems like an awfully dangerous scroll to retrieve for an initiation. Never know when I'll get another chance to look at this scroll, better make notes. Naruto pulled a scroll out of his pocket and began writing down interesting-looking jutsu. The first jutsu is the Kage Bunshin and its derivatives, Tajua Kage Bunshin no Jutsu. I didn't know that had a name, Bunshin Daibakuha. Oh, that sounds fun, the ability to make my clones explode. Hell yeah! What else is in here? Crap, why the hell would I want to do that? Okay, that's just gross, Edo Tensei? What's that? Okay, that's just wrong. Is there anything normal in here other than Kage Bunshin? Oh wait, here's one, Chidori? Isn't it that move Kakashi dodges and refuses to teach me? The fourth put it in here. Oh, so that's why. You need a Sharingan to make it useful. Maybe I'll save it for Sasuke. Naruto scrolled through jutsu after jutsu that killed you or did something gruesome to your enemies, often at the same time. Well, that was a bust. I learned one jutsu that I can actually use from the scroll of seals. Naruto furled the scroll when he got to the end of the jutsu in the scroll, then it hit him. The seals. Naruto quickly unfurled the scroll again, opening it up to the sealed artifacts section. Okay, there's got to be something good. After spending half an hour poring over the sealed items, he settled on Yuzuno Tsubasa, the wings of the whirlpool, which was apparently covered Uzumaki-style Fuinjutsu. The problem being that it absorbed the user's chakra to power its seals. The last 3 people who tried to wield it were killed when it sucked their chakra completely dry. If you didn't have enough chakra to power the thing the first time you picked it up, it would kill you. Sounds cool. Let's try it. Naruto wiped a bloody thumb over the seal. There was a poof of smoke and... Well, that's not what I was expecting. At 10 feet long, the weapon was easily twice his height. At each end there was a 2.5 foot long 5-inch wide dark green blade, with silver edges and seals carved into the flat of each blade. From a distance the complex shape of each seal faded and blended together to form the shape of a wing, the wing on one blade pointing in the opposite direction as the wing on the other. The narrow handle was wrapped in blood-red leather, and was 5 feet long. How the hell am I supposed to use this thing? Forgetting that if he wasn't going to use it, he probably shouldn't touch it, Naruto bent down and picked up Yuzuno Tsubasa, intending to seal it back into the scroll. What he got instead was excruciating agony as his chakra was ripped away. What's going on, Kit? The chakra drain had woken Kurama up from his long nap. Hey, the academy is boring. Stupid staff is eating all my chakra. Naruto managed to croak out through the pain. That thing. I thought they sealed it away. Kurama growled in anger when he saw the staff. They did, I kinda unsealed it. Naruto would have sounded sheepish if it wasn't for the fact that it had eaten half his chakra already. Feed it my chakra until it stops. Kurama began shoving his own chakra into Naruto, his distinctive fox-shaped energy shroud forming at 2 tails. The shroud held for all of 3 seconds before it too was sucked in. Okay, this is bad, Kit. What were you thinking? That I have 4 times the chakra of Erosenin? Naruto was sweating bullets now. The staff had eaten more than 3/4 of his huge reserves and was still going strong, even with Kurama feeding it too. Just as Naruto thought he was going to die, the chakra drain ended as suddenly as it started. Naruto collapsed in a heap. His body felt as if it was made of jelly. He had so little chakra left that he was sure the only reason he was alive was that Kurama's chakra was still flowing through him, keeping him alive. Thanks, buddy, I owe you one. Naruto's palms itched, wondering why he looked at his hands. The kanji Tsubasa, blades/wings, glowed briefly on his palms before fading away like it was never there. Next time leave the sealed weapons alone, Kit. They're sealed for a reason, Kurama groused. You look like shit, Kit. Get some rest. Naruto drifted off for half an hour. I found you, Naruto. Irika growled, looming over the dozing blonde. Irika-sensei? Are you my contact? Mizuki-sensei said I had to give this scroll to the person who showed up here and I could join a secret Umbu subgroup. Mizuki? Suddenly, Iruka palm thrust Naruto across the clearing, getting him out of the way of a barrage of kunai. Iruka wasn't fast enough to dodge them himself, however. Naruto run back to the Hokage, tell him what happened. Give me the scroll, Naruto. Gone was Mizuki's friendly demeanor from this morning. Now he was cold. Whether with hate or rage, Naruto wasn't sure. Don't listen to him, Naruto. The scroll of seals is full of dangerous kenjutsu and deadly artifacts. He used you to get his hands on it. There's no point in lying to you, I guess. I know. There's something that everybody's been lying to you about. Shut up, Mizuki. That's an S-rank secret. You killed Iruka-chan's parents, did you know that? He hates you. Oh, you're talking about the fox? Naruto stood up shakily, faint flickers of red chakra coursing up and down his body. And I thought you had a real secret to tell me. I know all about the Kyuubi no Kurama. Turning from the shocked Mizuki to equally stunned Iruka. If we knew your parents were among the dead, we would have apologized sooner, Iruka-sensei. Kurama was under a genjutsu cast by a masked man with a Sharingan. He had no intention of destroying Konoha. Honestly, he's rather lazy. Mizuki was shocked. As far as he knew, Danzo-sama still believed that the boy hadn't found out about the fox yet. He had to get this information back to Danzo before it was too late. This could ruin all of Danzo-sama's plans. I'm afraid you're going to have to come with me to meet someone, Naruto. Just as soon as I kill this meddler. Mizuki threw his oversized Fuma shuriken at the already injured Iruka. Naruto managed to tackle Iruka at the last second possible. Why? Was all Iruka could get out. You were the only teacher who was nice to me. Still exhausted, Naruto called on more of Kurama's chakra. His whisker marks thickened, his nails lengthened, and the blue part of his eyes turned blood red, and the pale purple turned a much darker shade of purple. Naruto's normally contracted pupils dilated and then bent into vertical slits. The faint flashes of red that had surrounded him before thickened into floating balls of red chakra and began to slowly coalesce into a solid shroud. Naruto raised his left arm. The kanji on his palm was glowing a sickly green. There was a whirling noise and Yuzano Tsubasa flew through the air and into his outstretched hand. Twirling it over his head, Naruto charged Mizuki. Nice weapon, demon. Shame you don't know how to use it. It'll make a fine trophy, along with your head. Mizuki rushed in, only to be stopped by a flash of silver green he narrowly avoided. Naruto had swept low, forcing Mizuki to jump to avoid losing his legs. Spinning the blade around his shoulder, the other attack came at Mizuki from a high angle, while he was still in the air. Mizuki managed to block the attack with a kunai, but the force of the swing was enough to send him crashing back to the ground. Standing up, Mizuki saw his kunai was almost cut all the way through. Shit, this is bad. Mizuki threw the damaged kunai at Naruto, who batted it out of the air. Pulling two kunai out, Mizuki advanced cautiously this time. He managed to parry the first few attacks without damaging his kunai by making sure to only parry with the point of the kunai against the flat of the blade. But even though he was managing to keep his weapons intact, the superior range of Yuzano Tsubasa prevented him from getting close enough to directly attack Naruto. Just as Mizuki felt he was getting used to Naruto's twirling style of combat, Naruto jumped backwards and changed his grip on his weapon. Instead of holding it in the middle, like a staff, he held it at the back, like a spear. Despite the increased range, Mizuki was relieved. He can't thrust as fast with one blade as he can swing with two. I've got him now. Dodging out of the way of a thrust aimed at his head by tilting his upper body to the left, Mizuki began to close the distance. Dodging the next two thrusts easily, Mizuki's confidence began to grow. Dodging the fourth and fifth attacks, Mizuki was almost in range. Suddenly spinning his weapon around, Naruto now held it towards the front. What's he up to? All that weight behind him will work against him. Naruto seemed to overextend his last thrust. Yes. He's mine! Mizuki charged and raised his weapons for the killing stroke, and only barely noticed the smirk on Naruto's face before lightning bolts shot out of the handle and blade, stopping Mizuki in his tracks. Once more twirling the staff over his head, Naruto charged the semi-paralyzed Mizuki. Mizuki barely managed partially dodge and block the downward stroke meant to split him in half. This time, however, instead of only cutting halfway through the kunai he used to block, the Yuzano Tsubasa cut all the way through, and through Mizuki's forearm behind it, and through Mizuki's bicep behind that. Erg! Mizuki was lying on the ground, clutching the stump where his arm used to be. His eyes widened as he saw the Yuzuno Tsubasa descend, Naruto clearly meaning to decapitate him with this swing. Naruto, stop! Iruka grabbed Naruto's wrist through the chakra shroud. His hand immediately began to burn, but Iruka didn't let go. Why? So he can try to kill me again? Because he's more human than I am? Naruto's voice was deep and animalistic under the effects of his two-tailed chakra shroud. Of course not. If anyone hears a monster, it's him. But Naruto, he might have valuable information. Iruka was still holding Naruto's wrist with his blackening hand. At the very least, he's a traitor, and being killed in these woods is more than he deserves. Take him back to Konoha and let the third pass judgment on him. Naruto's chakra shroud slowly died down. Sensei! Your hand! Naruto finally realized what had happened to Iruka's hand. With tears in his hand he asked, why? Because if you killed an unarmed prisoner, then you would have taken the first step to becoming the monster he wanted you to be. No, I meant, why are you so nice to me? Even now, knowing that I know about the fox, that I'm friends with the fox, how can you be so concerned about me? I saw a lot of myself in you, Naruto. We're both orphans, both pranksters in the academy. I'm sorry I didn't do a better job as your teacher. If I had allowed myself to play favorites, you'd have been mine. Iruka collapsed, leaning against the tree. Come here, Naruto, I have a present for you. Iruka tiredly beckoned Naruto over to him. Close your eyes. Naruto felt his goggles slip off, then something else was clumsily tied to his forehead. Sorry, my left hand's a little stiff, Iruka said while tying the knot. Open your eyes. Naruto opened his eyes to see a tiredly smiling Iruka, who wasn't wearing his Hataite anymore. What is it? Holding up Naruto's goggles so he could see his reflection, Iruka said, I know it's not Umbu, but congratulations, you pass. Iruka tried to stand but fell over. Could you help me up? Naruto helped Iruka up, after making 3 shadow clones to tie up and carry Mizuki. Together they headed back to town. So do I really pass, Sensei? I think what you did tonight deserves some extra credit, don't you? Come on, we need to find the Hokage, and then get me to a hospital. Coming out of the woods, they found themselves surrounded by an angry horde of ninja. Oh bugger, he defeated a Chunin before he graduated? He defeated an elite Jonin before he was a ninja. I honestly don't see what's so shocking about that. He beat Zabuza with pure luck, and a Dijitsu, so that doesn't count. He beat Mizuki single-handedly, with a weapon he hadn't been trained to use. That speaks volumes about his actual skill level. And that trick he pulled to get Mizuki. I see why you like the kid Jiraya. Yes, he's a wonderful kid. Now we don't have much time before we get to Konoha. Are you going to let me finish the story? We have quite a ways to go. Konoha 12 months, 14 days ago. Oh, bugger, they were surrounded. And the ninja didn't look like they were going to listen to reason. If you just put your weapons down and kill the demon. Look, he's killed 2 Academy Sensei. Actually, Mizuki's a traitor, and I'm still alive, Iruka managed to say. Not that it seemed like anyone would listen to him. He's a monster, kill him. Nope, not listening. During the shouting, the assembled ninja closed in on Naruto. But when they were 10 feet, Jiraiya managed to shun between the groups. What's going on here? He killed 2 Academy Sensei and stole the scroll of seals. Now he's come to kill us all. Jiraiya had to fight the urge to face palm. Iruka had managed to stand up by himself and was carrying the scroll of seals, while Mizuki was clearly rolling on the floor in pain, whimpering to himself. Obviously you need to get your eyes checked. Jiraiya took up a combat stance. I will not let you attack a Konohanin unprovoked, especially when it's my godson, who just caught a traitor. Jiraiya's siding with the demon. Kill him! Someone shouted from the back. Yeah! Kill him! Came another voice from the back. Something's wrong here, thought Jiraiya. No Konohanin would be that stupid. He's obviously trying to rile up the mob into attacking me. An assassination attempt? Danzo. Now on guard for a surprise attack, Jiraiya subtly moved, so anyone trying to backstab him would be right in Naruto's sights. The one person in Konoha he really trusted to watch his back. Quickly flashing some subtle hand signs, he informed Naruto to be on the lookout for surprise attacks. Ero-sennin, should I make a path out? No, we'll wait for the Hokage to come here. No fighting unless they attack first. The mob tried to come closer, but Jiraiya began to pour out killing intent, like it was water on a hot day. As the mob began to back away, the voices from the back called, Cowards! We'll kill the demons by ourselves. 3 cloaked and masked Umbu shoved their way to the front of the mob. Drawing out tip less Tonto, they began to circle Jiraya and Naruto. They're Umbu. Naruto, you can use that technique if you want, it's less likely to kill them than your new toy anyway. As he finished talking, the 3 Umbu charged, 2 going for him and 1 for Naruto. Easily dodging their swords, Jiraya delivered a crushing kick to one that sent him flying into the other. UGH, Naruto grunted in pain behind him. Apparently the Umbu had tried to kill Iruka, and Naruto had stopped the blade with his shoulder. Seeing the demon injured was apparently enough of a motivation for the mob. They charged, screaming battle cries and death threats. Before the Umbu could pull his Tonto out of Naruto's shoulder, a shadow clone grabbed his arm, holding him in place. The clone then held his hand out to, palm down, Naruto, who placed his own hand 3 inches below his clone's hand, palm up. Let me show you a move I've been working on all year. Blue energy began to swirl in the space between their hands. Rasengan. Naruto screamed while slamming the Rasengan into the Umbu's stomach. The force of the blow was enough to send the man flying into 3 others behind him. Naruto was disappointed in the ninjas who were attacking him. They were weak. Sasuke was more than a match for them. Hell, even Kiba was more than a match for most of them. But they didn't seem interested in giving up, so he could respect them for that. Not that it would stop him from breaking their limbs. After about 5 minutes of Jiraiya and Naruto kicking weakling ass, the Hokage himself arrived, flanked by 50 Umbu. I will not tolerate my shinobi fighting amongst themselves. The amount of killing intense Sarutobi Hiruzen, Sandaime Hokage released was enough to bring Jiraiya to his knees. Explain yourselves. The demon killed 2 Academy Sensei and stole the scroll of seals, and then he attacked us. An injured Umbu with a curiously spiral-shaped wound on his chest shouted. You know, it's really annoying when people keep proclaiming your death right in front of you. Iruka, who still had the scroll of seals slung over his shoulder, said to Mizuki, who during the confusion had tried to crawl away on his hand and knees. Iruka had prevented his escape by the efficient method of sitting on his back. Obviously you need to get your eyes checked, the Hokage said flatly. Turning to Iruka, the Hokage said, since anything Jiraiya and Naruto say will be decried as lies by the majority of Konoha, tell me what the hell happened here. As far as I can tell, this bastard, Iruka gave the whimpering Mizuki a thump on the head, sabotaged Naruto's final exam. Then, with the promise of joining a secret Umbu subgroup, he convinced Naruto to steal the scroll of seals and bring it here. I found Naruto first and figured out what had happened just before Mizuki showed up. Naruto beat him with some clever underhanded tactics. Then as we were dragging this guy back to Konoha proper, so you could pass judgment on his scheming ass, this mob showed up and attacked us, although those 3 Umbu, he pointed to 3 now bound and gagged Umbu, who had attempted to escape during his speech, riled them up and attacked first. Gather the mob up and take them to TI's lockdown for questioning. I'll personally see to it that these 4, he gestured to the 3 bound Umbu and Mizuki, are taken care of. Jiraiya, Naruto, come with me. After delivering his prisoners personally to a high-security cell, and the tender care of Marino Ibiki, Yamanaka Inoichi, and Mitarashi Anko, the Hokage took Jiraiya and Naruto to his office. Now Naruto explained to me what happened. After Naruto's long-winded and rant-heavy retelling of what happened that night, the Hokage leaned several important things. 1. Naruto's test was obviously sabotaged with a genjutsu designed to make him answer questions incorrectly, and give him a headache that would interfere with the next part of the test. 2. Naruto was a gullible idiot. 3. Naruto had more chakra than Jiraiya, almost 5 times the amount, even without the fox. 4. He had managed to not only unseal the Yuzu Tsubasa, but to use it effectively without any training. And 5. Jiraiya had managed to teach him Rasengan, a signature move of the Yondaime, second only to the Hirishin no Jutsu in fame and power. Conclusion. Naruto needed more mental training, but was definitely shinobi material. It would be a shame to lose him because of the incident with Mizuki. Naruto, I have decided to uphold Iruka's judgment. You pass. And as for capturing the traitor Mizuki, I am retroactively assigning it to you as a B-rank mission. Depending on what information he has, I may upgrade it to an A rank. Dismissed. As they turned to leave, the Hokage continued, in a warm grandfatherly voice, instead of his formal debriefing voice he had used earlier, and Naruto, good job. Smiling, Naruto headed home, looking forward to sleeping in tomorrow for the first time in almost 5 years. Naruto woke at 12:30 noon, Looking at the clock, he realized he only had 15 minutes to get to the Hokage Tower for his ninja registration card appointment. Pulling on his trademark orange jumpsuit and grabbing Yuzano Tsubasa, he ran out of his apartment as fast as he could. After trying a variety of poses and face paints, all of which the Hokage refused to accept, he finally settled on a picture of him grinning wickedly with the Yuzano Tsubasa slung over his shoulders. Finally, Naruto, it took you long enough to take a normal picture. The Hokage grumbled as he did the paperwork for Naruto's official registration. There was a patter of small feet running down the hall just before the door to the Hokage's office burst open. "Fight me, old man." Skidding into the room was a small boy wearing what had to be the stupidest hat Naruto had ever seen, along with an overlarge scarf. Naruto wondered briefly if he should stop the kid before he hurt himself trying to fight the Hokage, but his decision not to interfere was rendered pointless when the kid managed to trip over his own scarf and slammed his face into the floor. "All right, who tripped me?" The kid looked up and saw Naruto sitting in the chair across from the Hokage. "It was you, wasn't it?" he shouted while running at Naruto. Naruto grabbed the kid by his shirt and held him a foot off the ground. "You tripped over your own stupidly long scarf, brat. If I tripped you, you'd know it." As they were shouting at each other, a man wearing the standard dark blue Konoha shinobi uniform with his Hittite on a bandana and dark sunglasses stormed into the room. "Unhand him, you fiend." "That's the Hokage's grandson." Naruto took a long look at the brat, before gently setting him on the ground. Before the boy could do more than look smug, Naruto punted him across the room. "Like I care." Naruto decided that with his meeting done he was going to have a nice quiet day, maybe have some victory ramen at Isuruka's. The main problem was that the brat from the Hokage's office had been following him for hours. "Okay, I've officially had enough. Are you even trying?" he said to the kind who was trying to hide behind a sheet painted to look like the wooden fence he was standing next to. Unfortunately for him, he was holding it sideways and his fingers and toes were clearly visible. "Wow, how'd you know I was there?" "I've been trying to ignore you for hours. You really need to work on your stealth. You were able to see through my perfect disguises? The rumors about you must really be true. I'll tell you what, you teach me the jutsu you used to defeat the old man and I'll call you boss." Needless to say, the chance to corrupt the kid made him agree to it. He'd love to see the old man's face when the kid, Konohamaru apparently, used this techniques on him. "So what do you have against the old man anyways?" Naruto was quite curious about what would drive a little kid like Konohamaru into doing something as suicidal as charging the Hokage with a kunai. "I'm named after the village, easy name to remember, right?" Konohamaru looked sad as he began telling his story. "But no one ever calls me my name. It's always honorable grandson or something. All they see is my grandfather. If I beat him and take the title of Hokage, then they'll definitely recognize me as me. I would be free of the shadow of the Hokage." Naruto interrupted him with a bop on the head. "Idiot, being Hokage is a lot more than that. It's not something that you can take, you have to earn it. That's why it's my dream to become Hokage. If I ever become Hokage, that'll mean I've proven that I'm the strongest ninja in the village, the best one to protect it. The Hokage has to be able to give up everything for the village. Even his life." Naruto looked down. "Or his son," he said quietly. "If you want to be Hokage, you'll have to beat me. Become stronger than I am and prove that you'll protect the village better than I can and you'll become Hokage. But it's a hard road ahead, and there are no shortcuts on the way there." "Found you." Looking up, saw the man from earlier, Ebisu, Konohamaru's personal tutor. "Come, we have work to do. You must master hundreds of jutsu to even be qualified to be Hokage, and you'll never learn them without my shortcuts." "No way. Boss is a way better teacher than you. I already learned the technique he used to beat the old man. Watch this, Oryoku no Jutsu," transforming into a brown-haired version of Naruto's Oryoku no Jutsu, and taking a suggestive pose. He was surprised to see it do nothing to Ebisu. "How perverted. You can't stay around that boy any longer. You've gotten dumber already." "Kage Bunshin no Jutsu." Naruto surrounded Ebisu with clones. Each clone then made the hand seal for the Oryoku no Jutsu. Harem no Jutsu. Suddenly being surrounded by 30 noble blondes was more than Ebisu could handle. He crumpled to the ground, nose gushing blood. "That was awesome, boss. You defeated him with one move." Konohamaru looked thoughtful for a moment. "If you're going to be Hokage and I want to be Hokage, that means we're rivals, huh?" "Nothing wrong with being rivals. I already have 2 other people who consider me their rival. one of which you could call my best friend, and Eret waved as he left. I got a busy day tomorrow. I need to get ready. Later Konohamaru. Konoha 12 months, 13 days ago. Naruto was running late. He didn't want to put away his goggles. After all, they were the best birthday present he ever got. But he wasn't sure where to wear his hitayate. After half an hour of tying it to random parts of his clothes and body, he settled for the standard on the forehead location, and just pushed his goggles onto the top of his head. I can't believe how late I am. Naruto was the last person there other than Irika-sensei. Naruto waved to his few friends as he came in. Noticing that Sasuke was looking more emo than usual, Naruto decided to see what was wrong. But what's wrong? We just graduated. You shouldn't look so grim. But Sasuke was apparently so far into his own little world that he didn't notice. Naruto. Leave Sasuke-kun alone. In the years since they stopped talking to each other, Sakura's personality had devolved into pure mindless fangirl. Sometimes Naruto thought he saw flashes of the strong-willed, courageous girl she used to be. It really broke his heart. Ignoring her, Naruto tried to look Sasuke in the eyes. But the angle was all wrong. Finally, hoping on the desk in front of Sasuke, Naruto poked Sasuke in the forehead, forcing him to look up at Naruto. Sasuke's eyes widened fractionally. Naruto, what are? But unfortunately for everyone involved at that moment, the student behind Naruto decided to stretch. He bumped into Naruto, knocking him forward, straight into Sasuke's face. You doing here? Sasuke actually managed to finish his sentence despite the near-fatal, at least as far as Naruto was concerned, kiss. Naruto, on the other hand, was rolling on the floor, clutching his throat, his skin an unpleasant green color. The only noises he seemed capable of making were gagging ones. Naruto, why did you have ramen for breakfast? Sasuke asked the gagging Naruto. I'm sure that can't be healthy. No wonder you're so short. The rest of the class was shocked by Sasuke's non-reaction. Maybe he really is gay, was the thought of the majority of the males in the class. The women in the classroom only had one thought at the moment. Kill! They descended on the defenseless Naruto like a swarm of angry hornets. Sasuke had propped the unconscious Naruto in his usual seat. Please tell me that was a horrible nightmare, Naruto said to Sasuke when he woke up. The beating or the kiss? Both? Nope, both happened. How can you be so calm? Or was that not your first kiss? I'm just glad you managed to pass. I was worried when you failed the other day. You're my rival. If you do badly, I look bad. While they had been talking, Irika-sensei had come into the room and started calling the names of graduates and assigning them to teams. Team 7 will be Uchiha Sasuke, Uzumaki Naruto. Naruto and Sasuke fist bumped at this piece of news, and the whole room was silent. Every girl in the room had their fingers crossed. The boys were smart enough to keep their mouths shut. Kami forbid they made a noise and the girls couldn't hear who was the third team member. Hyuga Hinata.